First, I'd like to state that my talk is from the perspective of a cancer survivor. Should you have any health concerns, I strongly recommend that you consult a doctor. The phone call, November 27th, 2013. It's the day before Thanksgiving. I've been off work for 5 months following a layoff. Now I'm getting ready to start a new job at Stanford. During the past 5 months, I've taken care of a lot of personal business, including annual medical exams. The afternoon sun is streaming into our front room where my 12-year-old son is engrossed in a video game. The phone rings. Hello? Hello, is this Kristen Goldthorpe? Yes, this is Kristen, I say as I cautiously sit down at our dining table. This is Dr. Sharon Chang. I'm a surgeon in the oncology department at Kaiser. You've got cancer. I'm in complete shock. My immediate thought is, what did I do to deserve this? There's not a lot of cancer in my family. I'm in good shape. The other weekend I did a 63-mile bike ride. Heck, I even stopped drinking Diet Coke. Bottom line, cancer is a crapshoot. Even researchers at Johns Hopkins came up with a similar conclusion when they published their report earlier this year, where the headline, "Many Cancers Possibly Caused by Bad Luck," suggesting that many cancers are unavoidable. What is cancer? We all have different levels of familiarity with this dreaded disease. For me personally, I knew very little about cancer until I was diagnosed with breast cancer almost 4 years ago. Before that, I always thought that other people got cancer. Basically, cancer is a broken cell. At one time, it was a normal cell, but somewhere along the way, the internal mechanism became broken. This is called mutation. Once mutation occurs, the cell never does its job properly. It either grows too fast, multiplies too often, or spreads to parts of the body where it doesn't belong. Instead of having 2 abnormal cells, you suddenly have 2 billion abnormal cells in the form of a tumor. There are approximately 200 different types of cancer. The American Cancer Society states that approximately half of all men and a third of all women in the United States will develop cancer during their lifetime. What causes cancer? The first thought is family history, that if you have a lot of cancer in your family, you're doomed to get cancer. In reality, this isn't true. Only 5 to 10% of all cancers are linked to genetics. Personal habits such as smoking and drinking can cause cancer. 1 out of 3 cancer deaths is linked to smoking. However, at the same time, 10 to 15% of people that get lung cancer never smoked a cigarette in their lifetime. That's a crapshoot. Over the past years, the rate of cancer has gone up a lot due to changes in the environment. Over the past century, we've pumped toxic chemicals into the air and our waterways. We have hazardous products and dangerous plastics filling our house, exposing us to dangerous carcinogens on a daily basis. It's not just one thing that causes cancer. Rather, it is a series of accumulated factors. Every cancer is different. Based on my own cancer experience and analyzing my own history, I've come to the conclusion that my cancer is a result of many random exposures to environmental hazards over several years. 30 years ago, in 1996, I was a student in Denmark. That same year was a Chernobyl disaster in the Soviet Union. When that happened, a significant amount of radioactivity was leaked into the atmosphere. Within weeks, deer in Sweden dropped dead. Decades later, Both my friend who was with me in Denmark and I were diagnosed with breast cancer, perhaps just an unlucky coincidence. Another possible exposure, my first 7 years here at Stanford, I worked in the Allway building. That's one of the older buildings behind the main hospital. There were 20 people in our department. In the years that followed, 8 of those 20 people, that's almost half, developed cancer. 5 of them were women with breast cancer. I find this hard to believe that that is a coincidence. On a regular basis, the media bombards us with articles claiming the magic bullet that will prevent cancer. Kale, chocolate, lemon water, an extra glass of wine, the list goes on. You can't prevent cancer. Rather, the question is, what can you do to reduce your risk of getting cancer? The obvious answer is, don't smoke, drink in moderation, and limit your exposure to the sun. Regular exercise is very important. There's no guarantees. However, if you practice healthy habits, you will be stronger and better able to go through cancer treatment should you be diagnosed. In conclusion, cancer is a crapshoot. Like many other cancer survivors, I wonder if my cancer will come back. I know I can't prevent it. I do everything I can to reduce the risk of the cancer returning. But most importantly, I live every day to its fullest. And I keep in mind the words of the late ESPN sports commentator Stuart Scott, who lost his own life to cancer in 2015. Stuart said, "You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner you live." Booyah!